responds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it. From the start to the finish, go hard.
Hey! Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Friday night edition. It's a Friday night edition of the Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream. You know, hey, just here to talk about good stuff involving bearded villains everywhere. Yeah. It is July 12th. It is July 12th, and you are here for episode 221. 221. Wow. Hey, all right. We are only a few short weeks away. Got to do the math, but just a handful short weeks away from coming into the 5-year anniversary. 5 years of this here program. I'm kind of shocked by that. I knew it's going to happen, but pretty crazy to think about. 5 years. And then you think that when you think about 5 years, you think there should be more episodes than 221. But then when you realize how many weeks there are in a year, and there's, a couple times we take a week off here and there, and the first, 6-8 months wasn't every week. So, but man, we're coming up on 5 years. Like in August, when we come up into August. I'm excited. I can't believe that we're still here kicking around. I envisioned it. I hoped that I would keep this up, and I'd have the patience and the willpower to keep doing this thing, even when some listeners aren't around, and the good, bad, and the ugly. We just take it, and it's therapeutic for me, as we talked about before. I love being here. I'd talk to an empty room about BV, and it's just fun. It's just fun because you never know. You never know who's going to come across, who's going to see this thing, who's going to listen to this thing and learn about BV and some of the chapters that may be in their area that are doing some really cool things. So, yeah, I'm excited. 221 episodes in now, and we're just kicking around. So thank you guys so much for being here with us, hanging out with us. I want to say a big shout out to everybody that's here with us in the chat right now that's saying, hey, how you doing, whatever. If I can find my little cursor here. There we go. First, I want to say, hey, how you doing to Mr. Buddy. Buddy's hanging out with us again tonight. Evening, gentlemen. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. He says it's been too hot to really get her into anything. It's been hot down there, he says. Yes, I can believe it for sure. Jimmy's hanging out with us as well. How you doing, Jimmy? Good to see you here. Rob is here with us. His typical greeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good morning for you, good sir, for sure. Ed Deering, Mr. Ed Deering's hanging out with us as well. Good to see you here, Ed. How you doing? Klaus is here as well. Good evening, and brother love from Little Dane. Yes. Good to see you here. I love it when he pops in and he's able to hang out with us for a bit too. Mike, how you doing? Good to see you here as well. I love it, guys. Hey, it's a Friday night, and you guys could be finding anything else better to do with your time for sure. Dapper Dan's hanging out with us as well. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. I end up saying Buddy's name about 30 extra times in the broadcast because I say, how you doing, buddy, to everybody. So I apologize for any confusion that somebody may end up having, but with that. But thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. You guys keep me going. You guys, and it's fun. So on that note, this is another one of those things where it seems like it shouldn't have taken this long, but because we're such a niche thing, right, with this show, we're coming up. We're real close to 1,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel. We're like 11 away now. So if you have a YouTube channel and you're not subscribed to this, why aren't you? Get in there, subscribe. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't cost anything. Heck, you never even really need to turn your notifications on. Just subscribe to it and let it sit back there in the background. Get us over that hump of 1,000. That'd be nice. It'd be really nice to be able to, get easily past that 1,000 subscriber mark on the YouTube channel before we hit our 5 years. That would be nice. It's kind of funny. You hear some of these YouTube stories from these channels out there, and they talk about, it took them a whole year to get to 1,000 subscribers, or it took them 6 months to get some subscribers. And I'm like trudging along here. And, granted, for the first 25 episodes of the program, we weren't on YouTube. We were just audio only. But, so considering, it's not quite 200 episodes of live streaming per se. But yeah, it is. It is what it is. But it'd be nice to get us over that, way. So tell all your friends, tell all your family members, anybody that appreciates the Bearded Villains, anybody that appreciates what you're doing with Bearded Villains in your chapters, because we give shout outs to everybody, and we like to give shout outs to some of the charities when we're doing stuff as well. So make sure, get out there and tell everybody to subscribe to this thing here. And we'll just have a great time. Be nice if we could get to that point. So, all right. Hey, so this episode 221, we are going to be talking in just a little bit with two gentlemen from North Georgia. From the North Georgia. I don't know. What else can we call it? What else can we call these guys? Just two awesome dudes. Had a great conversation with them. I was trying to get all theatrical and trying to get super fancy with my words there. What else can we call them? Well, they're just two badass brothers. And I had a great time talking with them today. And I was so happy that they got some time to tell us all about, what's going to be going on next weekend for a little. I got to stop saying that. Not little. You heard me a couple weeks ago. I said I got to stop doing that. Every time I describe some event, I keep going, a little thing called pet peeve of my own, me saying it. It's got to get on other people's nerves if it's getting on my nerves. Okay, so let's try that again. We're going to be talking to two of our brothers from the North Georgia Villains about Dawg Days of Summer. Such a cool name for an event. And they're pivoting a little bit this year with a different charity. And we talk a little bit about that in the interview about why the decision was made to do that. And I respect the heck out of why. And I look forward to seeing all of the results and pictures and videos and everything else that comes from this event, because it's going to be a really fun one, I think, for sure. Okay. So I want to get into a couple of things. I have a chapter information post or thing to share. And then I also have a merch item that came up that I found. And I want to give due diligence to that as well. So since we weren't on last week, some of this might be a week or so old, but let's do some sharing. So merch related wise, this is actually something that it's old but new, only because I wanted to share an extra piece of it. And that is this here. Now, I've been talking about this. We've had this on for a couple times now over the course of these last several weeks. This Bearded Villains Ohio chapter coin. And I wanted to bring this back in because now we have video of what it actually looks like in person. And man, does this thing pop. Boys, Ohio, you did a bang up job with this thing. Be very proud of this thing. It is very detailed. The colors, the silver, everything just pops on this thing. I don't have a video. If it's out there, I don't have it. Go over to the Ohio chapter, Ohio Villains chapter, and see if they have video of the back side of it where it's the glow in the dark part. But I just wanted to share that again because I thought that was really cool. So congrats. Get out there. It's well worth that $20, I think, if you like to collect these coins. So get out there and get one of those things. All right. So the next thing I wanted to mention is I want to give a quick shout out to one of our chapters overseas, because, well, let's see. There we go. Because they came out with a new logo. They just released a new logo, Bearded Villains Kingsman. I love it. This thing is different. I like the fact that it's not like completely symmetrical. That's pretty cool to me. I like the fact that the lettering has some raggedy edges to it, but has some pops of color to it. Very, very cool. Different take on a logo. I like it. I like it a lot. So my only question is, how soon are we going to see some merch? That's the big question, right? Everybody always asks that question when we see this. So that's my question. How soon? How soon are we going to see that merch? Congratulations, Rose. Bearded Villains Kingsman coming in hot with a brand new logo. Love to see that. All right. Well, I need to take a couple minutes out here, because we had a couple of losses in BV. We lost two brothers in a short period of time over the last couple weeks, and I wanted to, as I always do, give a little remembrance for them and pay homage to them, and just memorialize them for a couple minutes for the brothers that they were. And we've got brothers out there that are hurting. We've got family members that are hurting right now, and it's just something that we need to pay close attention to. So I want to first give a shout out to our brothers who are still, I'm sure, grieving from the loss not too long ago. I think it was a week or two, just over a week ago, of Joe. And I reached out. I talked to Troy to give her a little bit about Joe, and I know that he is definitely missed, and just a sad take on things, man. So have to give a shout out to friends and family of Joe. You may have known him on Instagram as the bearded_devil from BV East Washington. Passed away less than 2 weeks ago, I believe. I wasn't able to talk about it last week because we weren't here. So, like I said, thoughts and prayers to BV East Washington, all the friends and family, the brothers that were close to Joe, and know that we're thinking of you, and you're in our prayers. And then I also need to give a shout out to our brothers over East, ENC. I didn't know Joe over in East Washington, and sometimes we hear that brothers pass. And we're a club of between 4,000 and 5,000 men worldwide, and inevitably, when you're part of a club that's that big, you're going to lose brothers periodically throughout the year, and you may not know many of them when they pass away. I've known a few in the last year that have passed away, and that you're never ready for it. You're never prepared for it. And this one got me too. When we lost Fox last week, I knew that it was, a possibility for a little while now, and the man just kept fighting. And what more can you say about a guy? A family guy, a brother, through and through. I had some really great conversations with him. He's one of these guys that, Fox, I wasn't able to. I just wish I had more time to meet with him and to talk to him. Talked to him a few times, on the phone, and a few times when I was able to, see him at events. But the guys that are over East, and they got to see him a lot, they talk testaments to the man that he was, and I wish you had more time. And great family guy, and yeah. So our thoughts and prayers are with all the chapters out east, in North Carolina especially, ENC guys, friends, family, close ones, for Mike. Fox was a dude, man, And like I said, the last time I got to see him, it was never a question that he's going to fight through this thing. So just not ready for it, even though you know. So thoughts and prayers, definitely, with Mike's family and all the guys in North Carolina. So many chapters out east that have been over there to support that family, to support each other. And I hope that continues. I know that it will. And it already has. Also got to give a big shout out to everybody who, donated money and helped the family out. As soon as those links came up, you saw guys immediately just ready. And before those links came out, we had guys asking, what can we do? But yeah, we're thinking of you guys over there out east for sure. And with Mike's family and all the brothers who knew him best. So rest in peace, Mike. I know we're going to see you again, man. All right. Man, I hate it. I hate that we have to do that, but then again, it's not right not to. We are who we are because of the experiences that we have in our life, the good, the bad, all of it. And one of the great things, and I had this conversation, I know, with Troy, with Gibber last week about, so one of the great things, and he and I kind of said the same things on different chats, that one of the great things about this brotherhood is the bonds and how you're able to meet people that you never would have met, and that you're able to learn from people. You're able to share these experiences with brothers. And you're able to do that with brothers from all over the country, all over the world. And you get to know, even if you don't see them, but once a year, but once every couple of years in some cases, you get to know each other pretty darn well. And while that's incredible and that's great, and we love that part of it, also what comes with that is the likelihood that when you know and you meet and you get to talk to and hang out with all these brothers from all over the world that you normally wouldn't know, your friend circle, your brotherhood circle, it is expanded drastically the longer you're in BV. And I can say that there's hundreds of guys that I would never know. Not to say that I would know a different 100 set of guys in that time. Probably wouldn't. Before BV, my circle of people was small, right? I don't know if that's the same way for many of you, but the circle of people that I knew and talked to was pretty small before BV. And now through BV, it's expanded tenfold. And when that happens, of course, then the prospect of losing brothers, losing those loved ones, the ones that becomes even greater, unfortunately. So we're going to experience loss, and this club's only 10 years old, and not everybody's even been in it for that long. And we're going to have moments like this, and so we have to just hold on to that brotherhood and be there for each other. I think it's really important that in times like this, that we make sure that we're reaching out to those that are closest to the ones that we've lost. Make sure that they're okay too. So, all right. Well, this week I had the pleasure of talking with Nate and I was thinking about something else here. Yeah, man. See what happens when your mind starts to wander about things? You stray off in mid-sentence about things. I apologize for that. This week, I had the pleasure of talking with the captain and co-captain from down there in North Georgia, and they're going to have an awesome event. And I hope that those of you who are pondering whether or not you can go, if you're within a half a day's drive of being able to go down to this event next weekend, I hope that you do, because it looks like a really cool time. The venue is going to be awesome. There's going to be some really cool things available for you to purchase for the very cool charity that they're working with. So, hey, we're gonna talk now. I'm gonna share my interview that I had just earlier today with the boys from North Georgia, and we were talking about that awesome big event. Big event. I'm not gonna say little event anymore about anything. I'm gonna try not to anyway. That big event, that very cool event called Dawg Days of Summer. Here we go. If I can get it to play. Well, coming up this weekend, we have an event down in Georgia called the Dawg Days of Summer. The Dawg Days of Summer. I love saying that. It's such a cool title for an event. The Dawg Days of Summer. Them boys down in Georgia, they're kind of in the northern area, right? Well, hey, they're here to talk to us today about the Dawg Days of Summer. What's going to go on? They're going to tell us all about it. But here for the first time, I think it's the first time I've had them on the show. We're here. We're talking with Nate and Erich. How you guys doing?
Awesome, man.
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I always have to kind of hype it up a little bit when I'm doing the intro, and it always sounds stupid, but I don't care. Well, yeah, that's right. Man, tell me a little bit. The first time, is this the second year you've done Dawg Days, or has it been longer than
This
that?
is the third.
The third. Okay. I just remember talking about it on the podcast last year I do remember that. And when it first came out, I was like, Dawg Days of Summer. It just sounds fun. Just something about the name of it. It's just awesome. But hey, let's start out by, for those some of the listeners here that don't know you, if you guys want to take a second, introduce yourselves, what your positions are within the chapter, and just a little bit about your journey within the chapter MPV.
Go ahead.
I'm the co-captain of North Georgia Bearded Villains. Been around since December 2020. I started. Was doing some other stuff. Had a friend who was a bearded villain down in Florida, and one here in this chapter. And they both had tried to get me to join for a couple years, and I just didn't have the time. Had a teenage son and stuff, so a couple years later, I'm like, all right, I'm ready. And so I checked them out. They were doing some awesome stuff in the community, which is what I was looking for, a way to kind of get out in the community and do some good. And I've been here ever since.
That's awesome.
I'm Nate. I'm currently the captain of North Georgia. I originally came around in 2019. I think it was actually my first event was the barbecue we used to hold in July, and back in 2019. I found out about BV through a guy that I worked with. He had a bearded villain sticker on the back of his phone. I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. And he goes, well, I know a guy. And so came around, got to meet some of the guys, and been around ever since.
All right. Now we know you. Feel like we've known you all along.
Yeah.
Man, well, let's just talk a little bit about what has the chapter been up to down there? Coming into this, it's been a really weird time the last couple of years. After we post COVID, then we had this huge rise and lots of different events started happening. Then things kind of settled down within the BV circle a little bit, and now we're just kind of in this weird lull thing where some chapters are starting to get things back together again, and they're getting their events that they've had, back in place. Lots of different things going on because the last several years have affected chapters in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
What's it been like for you guys the last little bit, and what you guys been up to as a chapter for the last year or so?
Lately, the last thing we did was on Memorial Day, and we did what we call Flags for the Fallen. There's a cemetery around down the road from us that has what, 660, 650
A bunch.
Wow.
prior service members buried there. And a lot of them from the Vietnam area and later. So every year as a chapter, we go out and we put flags on the headstones. That was our last big charity event. And then previous to that, we just tried to.
Well, we did the Veterans Day thing, which we just started back up after COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Every year before COVID, they were going down. Before I started, even he was around.
Yeah,
they were going down to a veterans hospital.
that was partnering with BVGA.
Yeah, so we partner up with the other Georgia chapter, and they were going down there and visiting the veterans. And then during COVID, they called all that off. So we just started that back up again this year. So we got together with Georgia Bearded Villains and did that with them. Handed out goodie, bags with toiletries and puzzle books and all that kind of stuff in the Veterans Hospital. So they let us visit with some of the veterans there, and we handed out bags to every single patient in the hospital.
Man, I love it when our guys doing stuff with veterans too. Kids and veterans,
Right.
It's those two things, man. Very, very cool. Okay, well, let's get into it. This weekend, Dawg Days of Summer. Tell us a little bit about third year. How did this thing come about? Did you guys just say, "Hey, I think we want to do something"?
Yeah, pretty much. We had been having a barbecue every year in July.
Okay.
And it was a one-day thing. It was in the morning. And I kind of, with some of the other officers, I was like, hey, why don't we actually try to throw an event that is a multi-day thing in the afternoon so we can get more people to come out and reach a broader range and hopefully be able to do more charity work with the funds that we raise. And luckily, we have some really awesome guys in the chapter, and they were like, hey, let's do it. And they took an idea that we had sitting around a table, kind of, just doing what we're doing now, talking, and made it more than we could ever imagine.
Awesome.
So this is our third year, and we're doing it at a brewery called Nofo in Gainesville. And we picked them because they're really involved with their community as well in Gainesville. They do a lot with different trivia nights. They do a lot with different kind of theme parties. And so we were lucky to be able to partner with them to use their event space. And the charity we chose is called Peace Place, which the Peace Place is a shelter for women and children to escape domestic violence, which is something that unfortunately there's a lot of in this world, that they do a lot of work trying to help women and children get out of that situation.
Wow.
So our first 2 years, we worked with a veterans charity, and they have just absolutely just blown the world up in our local community. And they've got so many good sponsors now that we felt that it was a time for us to find somebody else to help. So this year, we changed it up from a veteran charity to more looking at children. So that's our two focuses in North Georgia, is really keying in on veterans and children. So Nate had worked, and we had worked with Peace Place before, helped them out with some needed items and stuff like that. That was a couple years ago, I think. So we knew of them, and we asked if they'd like to partner. And they're like, "Oh, of course, we'd love you to throw a fundraiser in our honor." So great thing they do in the community, taking care of people, taking care of the kids and women when they're at their most vulnerable. So it's awesome. And then, like you said, Nofo, it's a local brewery. They got 3 breweries here in Georgia, and they sponsor a soccer club over in England and stuff too. So it's a pretty cool place. Really good friends with the guy that runs the one here in Gainesville, so he offered a space to us. Great guy. He also is one of our sponsors for the event. He is a knife and tool maker, so He's made a handmade knife that we are going to auction off, and we have a handmade straight razor that he made, one of. This is one and only straight razor he's ever made, so he's involved in that. And then we've got a couple other sponsors. One of our members runs is a tattooer and has a tattoo company here that's sponsoring us, and he's got a tattoo. He just opened a shop in Jefferson, Georgia, which is close to us. And then we got Irish Bear Beard Care that's coming down, and he's going to have a table at the event and stuff. We're lucky to have him.
Yeah, man, so much to unpack there. That you're talking about. First of all, kudos to you guys for recognizing that you've done a lot of great work for a veterans charity the last couple of years, and then realizing that it might be a good idea to pivot. And we've done something for you. You guys are off and rolling and doing your thing now. Let's try and help somebody else out that might be able to use our money and our services a little bit better. I love that. I think that's too many of us don't do that enough. We get set in our ways and we're like, yeah, we always partner with these people, and it's easy to do that because it's comfortable. And then once you establish that connection, you don't want to leave it, because then you're less, you feel like, well, I don't want to make them feel like it's not worthy anymore. But I like the way that you put it, because they've exploded, and you realize that the money that you guys can raise would probably be better spent and better raised for somebody else that might need that money more. I love that. So kudos to you guys for seeing that.
That veterans charity that we worked with the last couple of years, Operation Rally Point, they're the local here in Monroe, Georgia. We got involved with them just because we got one of our members that knew the guy that started it, an ex-service member.
Yep.
And he messaged him one night and said, hey, I got a veteran that's outside. He's outdoors and he needs a shelter, and I'm going to help him find him a job and get him, back on his feet and stuff, him and the family. And everyone in our group donated that night.
Yeah.
And it paid for his hotel. So they put him up in a hotel for, I think our money paid for like the first week or whatever. And, that just gave him the time to get him in. And then, that was the starting point of his charity. And then that was our first involvement with him. And we're like, hey, when we decided to do our first event, we know who could use some help.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. It was just awesome to partner with them. And
what a cool thing.
They're doing so awesome now.
Yeah, they're doing amazing things.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the connection that you have with the brewery. That's very cool too. I did not know that there was a Gainesville in Georgia.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I'm learning things today. Always got to learn something new every day.
I moved here in 2003 to Georgia in 2003 from Florida. And then when I moved here, everyone would be like, oh, I'm going to Gainesville. Man, all these people are driving all the way down to Gainesville?
Yeah.
And then, I realized, there's a Gainesville, Georgia too.
Yeah, I get it. That's funny. Oh man, that's good. Well, I want to see pictures of this this knife and this straight razor. I don't suppose are you keeping that secret until the event?
No. I can show you pictures of the knife, and I can show you the straight razor in person.
Well, okay. I was going to say, if you have a picture of something, I'll just get with you later, and then I'll show it on the screen. I'll have you send it to me, and I can pop it on the screen on the recording of our conversation here. Okay. I could actually do the same thing for the straight razor if you want.
Yeah, if you'll send it to me, I'll send it to him.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I just bring them up on the screen and show them, because I love it when we get these these handmade one-off things at our events. It's very, very cool. So for anybody that is coming to the event, is this going to be an auction item, like a live auction item?
Yeah. Well, we're doing it in their main space, so we can take advantage of raising money and having the auction items and raffle items available to not only Bearded Villain members, but all of their customers as well.
Yes.
So that was something we're doing different this year, and different than most of the Bearded Villain events, at least that I've been to. It always seems to be, just purely Bearded Villains. So we're tapping into their customer base. And then, they're on their side, they're seeing, all right, we got these guys, we're giving them the space, we're giving something cool to our customers and showing them that we care about the community. So it's a win-win.
That is such a cool idea. It really is, especially because if you know the owner and the people that go there, know that person really well too. A lot of times, because if it's a local establishment that people love, you get that rapport, and then the fact that you have the owner in your on your corner too. You could have tapped into something that's very cool there. That's a very neat. One of the things that I loved a couple of years ago when we went to Nash Vegas was in the big bar that they do this at Yeehaw. It's open to the public, and when you're there, there's a lot of people that just they happen to be there on a Saturday night hanging out, and there's a beard comp going on, and it was hysterical because we ran into a couple, a family of two couples that were there 3 years ago, I think it was, for their first time. They just happened to be there. And then they wanted to find out. They had such a fun time. They hung out longer than they were going to be to stay there for the beard comp and see all the stuff that was going on. They actually came back the next year, the same night.
Oh, that's cool.
They have nothing to do with Bearded Villains at all, but they had such a fun time that just happenstance showed up there. So you might key into something there with that. That's very cool.
Yeah. So that was our hope. It was something different. We talked about doing it last year, kind of restyling it in that way. When I was talking with this friend and stuff, and I'm like, all right, let's try it this way. We'll see how it works.
Is the owner going to be there with you for the event?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll actually he's going to be one of our judges, I think, for the beard comp too, and he's bearded. Cool. He's a bearded guy too. Yeah, veteran.
Right. Now, how cool would it be? How cool would it be if he just, when it push comes to shove, when it gets ready to start things up, he just kind of stands up and says, "May I have your attention, please, everyone? Thank you for coming here tonight. I'm so and so. This is my place, and I wanted to let you guys know what's going on here tonight. We're all here, and you just happen to be here, and we're going to raise money for, that would be really cool if he's able to do that."
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about this place too is that they're also promoting our event on their socials as well.
Oh, even better.
They're putting it out there so their customer base knows, and then we're putting it out there. So hopefully we can have a large group of people come together for a really awesome charity that could use the help.
Yeah, if you think about it, so many charity events that are out there, they're public events, and a lot of people just they hear about it, they want to go to it, they support this public event every year or something like that. Bearded Villain chapters, it's something that we've not done well, really. We just kind of make our event for us a lot of times,
right.
And like you said, you're missing out on a huge demographic of people that not only could be there for to see what you're doing, just to spread the word about what the kind of things you're doing in the community, but you might end up with a couple of Bearded Villains out of it. You're definitely, the connections, the support that you can get from it. I wish more chapters did that. We kind of realized it, a couple of years ago ourselves with one of our events that we need to really focus on the public as well as, the Bearded Villains will show up. They know about it. You look for opportunities to go hang out with your brothers. So
absolutely
focus those efforts on the public as well, like you're doing. I'm excited to see how this thing goes for you.
We're excited. I think this year's going to be our best year yet. We're really excited for this year.
Yeah, that's going to be badass. All right, so let's do a rundown of the event. Is this going to be are you doing anything on like a Friday night for anybody that might be coming into town, or is it just a Saturday thing that's going on?
Yeah, it is a multi-day thing. Friday night, we're going to meet at NoFo as well for the meet and greet. Everybody can kind of come hang out because, let's be honest, who doesn't like beer? And
cool spirits.
Yeah, and spirits.
They make all their own spirits, too. They have a distillery.
Yeah, they make all their own spirits, too.
Yeah,
so it's not just beer. They have some really good bourbon. I've sampled quite a bit of it.
Yep.
Well, damn it. You're making me wish I was coming.
They've double gold their agave, tequila. Yeah,
and
it's good stuff.
Damn it!
So NoFo is a really cool spot because they have the brewery, and then attached to the brewery is this Italian restaurant, and they have really good pizzas and pastas. Well, you can be in one and order from the other, and they will run it back and forth.
That's such a cool.
So you know, you don't have to worry about trying to leave and go get food. If you want, you know, some really good Italian food, literally bring it to you.
The Italian place doesn't sell beer and wine. Well, sorry, they sell wine, I think, but they don't sell beer.
Right.
Because you can order it from next door, and they'll run it over. And then in Georgia, in most states, you can have a brewery, and they're allowed to sell so much of their stuff, and that's how you can go to a brewery and have drinks.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to serve food.
Right.
That's why most of them have food trucks. Well, this owner was smart, and when he built this, he built it out with a separate unit to rent, and he rented it to some people he knew that were wanting to open a restaurant, and then they use QR codes and they order back and forth and just have runners run it back and forth.
That is such a smart idea. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a cool way to get around the law. I love it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's always a way.
There's
and
always a way.
Speaking of law, they even have a speakeasy at this place too.
Yeah,
you got to be a member.
That's.
I've never even been in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Are you a member?
I'm not a member.
I'm not a member. Not yet.
But you've been in there.
You can talk your way into a lot of places with, hey, that's really cool. Can I see that?
He's not giving out the money, but I don't know what he's giving instead. Let's just put it that way, right? $20 is $20, right? No,
right.
Hey, it's 2024. It's 50 now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Inflation,
I didn't realize it had doubled, more than doubled. All right,
Inflation's a bitch.
I've been out of the game too long, I guess. Well, damn, this place sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to look it up for sure. So, you know what I wish somebody would do one of these days, and it's hard to navigate, and I totally get it. And I say this saying that it would be a really cool idea, but I'm not brazen enough to try and figure it out myself either at one of our events. But I think it would be really cool when you do a live auction at an event to actually even like open it up to like phone in votes or something like that for people that you know, or to like an IG or something like that. Because, you know, do a IG live or something like that, and then have somebody, if you're interested, you know, anything that we're going to have, by all means, call in, and we'll just like an auction house, we'll accept phone bids too.
We might be able to do that this year. So last year and previous year, we have always done a live auction. And most of the places we go to, most of the events, they do live auctions.
Right.
But because we're going to be in the main room and have it open to the public, we're not going to. We decided we're going to do the beard comp and be on the mic for that, but we're not going to do live auctions. We're going to do silent auctions. So we could probably work something out where we create. All right, from your window is from this time to this time. Here are the items. Submit your bid.
Yeah.
And Instagram.
I wonder if you'd be able to do like have somebody like if you pick out like 4 or 5 items that you want from that stack of silent auction, and have them just do a live auction like in between categories or something from the stage, like one item at a time, instead of only because if you have some really cool items, I've seen some silent auctions go before at different events, and it seems like the items that are there never get the same money that they would on a live auction, because nobody's bidding against themselves. They just look up there and they see, oh, well, somebody's already bid $25. I'm not going to take that. You know, and
there's going to be a few items that we do a live auction for, like some of the bigger items.
Good.
But
I just want to see you guys get the money. I just want to see you guys get the most money you can.
Right. Yeah, we're going to try to narrow the scope so that, whereas last year we did a lot of live auctions, we're going to limit that.
Yeah.
To have a few key items like you were talking about, like you said, but then the majority of it's going to be the silent auction. So we could probably incorporate a bid system for online for brothers that can't make it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just think you got a few days to work it out if you wanted to. I would give you all the credit in the world for figuring out a way to make that work, because I haven't seen anybody successfully do it yet. But even if you just like threw a couple items out online on Instagram, it says these will be available. If you're interested in them, we'll take online bids for them or something.
Right.
That just to give everybody a heads up that they can go ahead and they know about it in advance. I just don't have the patience to try and figure that part of it out right now myself. So what I do instead is I throw the ideas to somebody else, hoping that they'll do it, and then they get to try and experiment with it first.
And then
to
you
see how
copy
it works for you.
Yes,
And then
exactly.
yeah, then we just copy it after we know how it works. That's the great
We've got some guys in the chapter that are really, really good at problem solving and figuring it out. Like,
See?
don't get it twisted. We may, quote unquote, run the chapter, quote unquote. I mean, without our guys in the chapter, we'd just be two bearded dudes sitting next to each other.
Isn't that fun though? Isn't that awesome that you have that? Because I'm in the same boat. We got some great thinkers and great, guys that come up with stuff in our chapter too. And I'm just like, yep, thank you. We tell them all the time. Yeah. You got ideas, you got things, you got thoughts. Share them. Don't keep them to yourself, because we definitely are not the only people in the world with thoughts. And some of the thoughts that we do have aren't the smartest.
Facts.
There's a reason why I don't hold office or something like that. I ain't too smart. But of course, then some of the people that do hold office ain't too smart either. So we'll see. Right. But hey, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for you guys for this thing, man. How many judges do you have, and do you know? Is it anybody that we know, or is it local community people that are your judges for this thing? I know you already said the guy from the brewery for one.
So there's going to be someone from the brewery. There's going to be a representative of Peace Place there. And then there's going to be one other judge, but none of which are really known to anybody in BV.
Somebody that we know that works with and runs another nonprofit in Virginia. They're going to come and be an honorary judge as well.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Friend of Bearded Villains. A friend in North Georgia.
Okay. All right.
Working on some, collaboration stuff with stuff outside the bearded villain world. We try to, expand our reach and just have more connections,
Yeah, that's what it's about. I love hearing that. That excites me for the future of the chapters that are willing to do that. We just, for years, chapters have been just like, they just hold to themselves, and they don't want to. We as a club, and I've talked about this on the podcast. I don't want to go into this whole tangent too, but as a club, Bearded Villains has typically had this, this view, or at least from the outside looking in. Other beard clubs and everything think that we're just all high and mighty and think so highly of ourselves, and we don't want to play nice with other people. And if you've ever been to other events, a lot of times people look around and like, oh, these guys think they are. It's like, dude, I'm just like you. Get over here, right. Give me a hug. It's. I know here in Indiana, we've been very, very aware of that, and tried to make sure that we go to other other beard clubs events and things like that. But so
absolutely,
if that's what it is, if it's another club like that, or even just another organization, I think that's really cool to make those partnerships for sure.
And that's one thing we actually did this year was we sent invites out to other beard clubs in the area.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, whether you're a Bearded Villain or one of the other beard clubs, we all joined this thing for the same reason, to do good things in the community.
And have a little fun doing it.
We can have fun, drink a beer, talk shit, and do good stuff for the community.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. That's what it's about.
Yes, it is.
So many people get it twisted and worry about and think about it and so many other things. And
we're definitely not into narrowing things. We want to wide open, anybody and everybody. If you're going to help us, and vice versa, if you need our help, that's what we're here to do.
I can see that on a shirt. Anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
Got to be careful where that goes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, them North Georgia boys, they're for a good time. Their motto is anybody and everybody.
They don't call them Dirty South for nothing.
Right, Dirty South.
I'm not so sure a lot of the other chapters would like to be lumped in with that anybody and everybody. But hey, you go ahead and put that on a shirt, see how that sells. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited for you guys. This is going to be a really cool thing. And one of these days, I hope you guys keep this thing going, because one of these days I'd love to come down for this event. It's one of the events that I put on my calendar last year that I thought, hey, this would be really cool. But then, of course, with World Meat so close, and I'm actually making the drive down there rather than the flight.
Okay.
So making a drive down to Georgia and then back up here and then back down to New Orleans within that short period of time.
A couple weeks later, right?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that would be a little rough on me. And
And we picked the time, Dog Days of Summer. We picked the July thing because there were no other events really
Right.
around that time. So that was our whole thing. Like, that, all right, when are there not a ton of other events, other places? And then, this year, of course,
well,
Worlds.
1 year. What's 1 year, right?
Right. In which
Well, maybe.
I think we're both going to Worlds.
Yep.
So we'll definitely see the Worlds.
Yeah, we'll see you there
Good deal. That'll be fun.
We'll have to find some bourbon together.
for sure.
If there's bourbon, you will find me there.
Same.
We're
I'll
kind
see.
of
I'll have to see
addicted
what
to
I
it.
can. I may even find some. I may just bring some with me for sure, just to make sure I have some for my room.
We'll have to get a shirt made, bourbon and beignets.
Oh yeah,
I would bet somebody already has that shirt made.
Probably. Probably.
It probably wouldn't be too hard to find somewhere in a store for sure.
Right.
And if they don't have it made, then they're just foolish. But man, that's going to be a good time. Is there anything else? Any surprises or any kind of sneak peek tidbits or anything else that you want to share? Because I don't know, we might have some people that are going to be watching this, listening to this thing today and this week, listening to it over the course of the week that are thinking, man, I'm not sure if I can go to that or not, or just kind of tease them with something. You got anything else you can throw their way? You don't have to. If you don't have anything, that's fine. I always like to.
there may or may not be some vacation you could win.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There may or may not be a vacation. Actually, 2 vacations you could win depending on where you want to go.
All right. Consider me questioned. All right.
Yeah.
I like that. Very cool. Well, guys, I don't know what else to say. Do you have anything else you want to? I forgot to ask, just because it's less of an issue now, but it used to be, but I always ask anyway. When people come to the event, do they have to worry about forms of payment? Do you accept like electronic payments?
Yeah.
Obviously cash. Okay.
Yeah.
You can pay on our website with any form of stuff. You could pay Cash App.
Yeah, we have Cash App, Zelle. You can pay on our website, or you can do cash at the event.
Very cool.
And the cool thing about the event is, even though it is at a brewery, it is open to everyone. So, like, my 2-year-old son's going to be there. Kids are welcome.
Pets friendly.
And it's pet friendly. Literally right behind the event, there's a little dog park. So it's kid and pet friendly. So bring your kids and bring your fur babies.
Yeah. And if your kid skateboards, have them bring a skateboard. There's a skate park next door.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No. The last time I was around kids with skateboards in a place that wasn't a skateboard center, my ankles took a brunt of bumping into several. So I said, but I won't be there, so I guess you don't matter. Kids, bring your skateboards.
Don't skateboard inside.
The skate park next door.
Yeah.
Because if you're inside, somebody may get a little too bourbon happy and try to ride the skateboard inside. And the last thing we need is a bearded villain busting their ass.
That sounds like, I think that you're talking about yourself there.
Like
Right?
skateboards.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. I remember my youth. Yeah, I'm going to hop on that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, my mind says, you're still young, you can do it. My body says, try it and die, fat boy.
Isn't it? You know what? I was just talking about that the other day. In my mind, your teenage years, your 20s even, they seem like they were just like 3 weeks ago.
Right.
They're so vivid in your head, and you're like, that was that long ago? Shit. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The older we get, the faster time flies, it seems like. And
The days are long, the years are short.
the dog.
What I've come to notice.
Yeah, it is. It's rough. Well, all we can do is enjoy it and do what we can on the time we got. So
Absolutely.
That's it. That's
what we're
why,
doing.
doing the stuff, making the friends, making the connections, making the memories, and doing some good. I mean, that's why we're here.
That's a good way to end it. I love it. All right, guys. Thanks so much for taking some time with me today. I hope you guys have the most of incredible success this weekend. If you have anything that you think of that you want to share, excuse me, that you want to share, or you want to pass on as the week comes on, give me a shout. I'll throw it on the page for the podcast also, and we'll do what we can to help promote it for you.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us, man.
Take care, man. Have a great weekend, or this weekend, and then last weekend before the event. That's always fun, right? Last details. All right, guys.
Details.
Have a great night and great weekend, and good luck next weekend.
Thanks, sir.
Have a good one, man.
Take care. Yeah, that was Nate and Erich. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. That event looks like it's going to be awesome. The comments section was going pretty crazy there when that knife and the razor showed up on there. Very, very cool. Very well done. I got to say, they told me after the fact that the knife and the razor, the straight razor, the handles that the gentleman that made them, the handles that were formed with those have shredded $100 bill molded into them. That's just kind of an extra thing. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Definitely one of a kind and very unique. So, hey, one other reason to try and get down there and see if you can pick one of those up, because they look pretty awesome. Pretty well done for sure. Well, guys, hey, you know what? It's been a day. We got through some stuff, and we made it. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, that's gonna be it, right? Hey, that's gonna be it. That's gonna wrap up episode 221 of The Heart of a Villain. I want to challenge you guys, as I do every week, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Most important words I say every week, guys. Remember them well. It's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. And just saying that's not enough. You need to make sure you take the steps and find a brother to talk to. Guys, hey, that's going to wrap it up. Next week, we'll be back for episode 222. Hey, until then, have a great weekend. See you guys next week. Till then, take care. Stay safe.
Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro. Lights, camera, action.